Hello Legacy students, Marsh here. So today we're going to talk about multiplying and dividing rational expressions. You want your notes today, pen or a pencil, and you may need a calculator just to do some very simple math, okay? So, objective, we're going to learn how to simplify rational expressions accurately, and then we're also going to use simplifying to multiply and divide. So, we're going to need to know some rules. First, multiplying fractions, remember, you've multiplied straight across, okay? So if I have 1/4 times 1/5, you multiplied the 1 and the 1, and you got 1. You multiplied the 4 and the 5, and you got 20. So we got 1/20. Dividing fractions, you had to flip the second fraction, or basically it was called reciprocal, and then change it to multiplication. So if I got 1/4 divided by 1/5, I'm going to keep the first guy, change to multiplication, and flip the second fraction around. And then it becomes exactly like multiplication. So you multiply the numerator, multiply the denominators, and I would get 5/4. Always make sure you simplify your answers. In this case, neither of those did simplify, but you're always going to want to make sure you simplify your fractions. So, let's try some multiplication. You gotta think first. Factor first. Okay? Don't just start canceling out stuff, because that's killing kittens. You got to factor first. So, first thing I noticed, this guy up in the top left corner here, it looks like there's a 2x common, so I'm going to factor out a 2x out of there. Leave that as x minus 5. This denominator is x squared minus 25. That's x plus 5, x minus 5. Okay. Top there is x plus 3. That doesn't simplify. And this is 2x squared. So now what I can do, I'm going to cancel up and down. And I can also cancel diagonally. So I can cancel up and down. I can cancel diagonally as well. So x minus 5 and x minus 5 will cancel out. And then I also notice I have a 2x, and this is 2x squared, so an x would be left out of that, right? Because there's a 2x here, so this would be just an x. So let's check what's left over on the top. Well, I got x plus 3 on the top. Then what I have left on the bottom, I have an x plus 5 left on the bottom, and also an x. Notice I'm multiplying the numerators together and multiplying the denominators. I'm not requiring you to multiply the numerator and denominator together, so you could leave this as x squared plus 5x if you wanted to multiply. I'm not going to ask you to do that, however, okay? Let's try another one. Let's factor the numerator there, 4x, so that's x minus 1. This denominator, I do need to guess and check on that one. An x and an x. I need 3 and a 1, and I need a positive 2, so that means a plus 3 and a negative 1. Looks like it. Let's factor that numerator. I think that's x and x, plus 3 and a negative 2, and this is just 4x. So now remember, I can cancel diagonally and up and down. So x minus 1s cancel out each other. I can cancel out the x plus 3s, and I can cancel out the 4x's. My goodness, everything canceled out. So top is just x minus 2, bottom is absolutely nothing. So I'm just going to leave that as an x minus 2. Now, something to keep in mind. If you do have nothing in the denominator, it doesn't look like a fraction, you're going to put that over 1. Okay, so keep that in mind. If there is not a fraction, make sure you put it over 1. The denominator is always 1 of a single number. So I got x plus 2, and then x minus 2x plus 2 on the bottom of the first fraction. Top of this fraction looks like it's x plus 3 and x plus 3. And then I have a 1 down there. The x plus 2's are going to cancel out. So on the numerator, I am left with an x plus 3 squared, technically, and an x minus 2 on the bottom for my final answer. And the last one, let's do a division problem here. So factor everybody first. So this guy, this numerator, two things that multiply, well, an x and an x. Well, looks like 7 and 2. That makes 12 as well, so that works. 7 and 5, excuse me. 25, I could take a 25 out, so it'll be x minus 1. Now I'm going to flip the fraction. Second guy. I'm going to take a 25 out of that. That's 1 minus x hanging around there. And then take an 8 out. That's x plus 7. So it looks like I can simplify those x plus 7s. 25s cancel out. Now notice, guys, x minus 1 is not the same as 1 minus x, okay? The signs have been flipped. However, I can flip those signs back around. I need to factor out of 1 minus x a negative 1. So if I do that, I will get x minus 1. The 1 will be, for that was positive, will come negative. The negative on the x will become positive by factoring out a negative 1. Keep that in mind, guys. That is a possibility. Sometimes that will let you factor out more. So I can now factor or cross out those x minus 1s. On the top then, which this guy's gone then, because that's what it was, I have a negative 1 and an x plus 5 over 8. Now this negative could also be sitting right here. It's honestly up to you where you want to put it. However, that would be a suitable answer. I also don't even need that 1 as well. And with that, that is the end of the video. I will see you later, Sabers.